Alright guys, today we're back to do another interesting video on my movie room. Another gigantic upgrade and my favorite upgrade that I've done to the movie room probably ever. And we're talking about the ButtKicker. Now, for those of you guys who have not been around on my channel for a while, I actually have had the ButtKicker on my PC. And it's basically a little device that like kind of straps into the bottom of your chair, and there's a little amp that connects to it, and then any audio that pipes through your PC or anything makes your chair vibrate like a subwoofer basically would. And that's really been awesome for my PC. I love playing games that way. You can really feel the gunshots in Call of Duty when you're racing and you're playing VR games and you have the headset on in VR. You can really feel the driving like you're driving on dirt roads and stuff. Adds even more immersion into games. So I always thought about bringing it into the movie theater scene, but I've been waiting for ButtKicker to kind of release a new amp, because the amp that they use for the PC is 130 watts, I believe, or something close to that. And sometimes I want to put it louder than even what the PC can handle, even though it's just one chair, because if you put it too loud and it keeps going, it eventually overheats and kind of just turns itself off for like a minute or two and then turns itself back on, and it kind of does that cycle. So for the PC, I found the happy medium, and it's still powerful enough, but it's just one chair. On my home theater, I knew that I had, a couch to fulfill, basically, with two chairs that I wanted to put it on, one on either side. So I knew that that wasn't going to be good enough, and they don't really have a more powerful amp. They're working on one. So I'm looking forward to when they do that. But I strolled across finding their old amps that they used to sell for home theater. That's 1,000 watts, and it's their BKA 1000 series that I have here. And I found it on eBay, got a really good deal on it, and the transducers included as well. So I was like, this is probably my opportunity to dive in. I saw the listing, I was like, I'm going to do it. I hope it turns out well, and if it doesn't, I'll just sell it and someone else will get a better thing. So I put it in. I'm going to show you guys what the setup was, how I put it into my chairs, and what you guys can expect out of this. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with the ButtKicker for my movie theater. Definitely my favorite upgrade I have made so far in the movie theater by far. The video we did before this was the Hue lights that we talked about, and today we're here to talk about now the ButtKicker edition that I added. Now, for those of you guys who have been following my channel for a while, you know that I added a ButtKicker to the actual PC area, where it's a little amplifier that sits, and then it connects a little piece underneath your chair, and that vibrates your chair based on the audio that's going on. Well, I always thought about adding it to the movie theater seats, but I have some movie theater seats that doesn't really make it easy to mount, so I never thought it would actually work. But basically what happened was I actually found an old amp, because you need to get one of they're either going to come out with a new amp soon and you should wait for that, or you should find one of these older amps like I did, like this one. So this is the ButtKicker. If you guys can see that here, I know it's a little dark. The ButtKicker I have is a BKA 1000N, so it's 1000 watts of power, which is definitely overkill for my setup. But the problem is that the one that they use on PC is only 130 watts, and that's just not enough power to drive these two things, because it's always going to be, hitting red, and then it's going to always overheat and eventually turn itself off. I actually run a little bit into that on my PC already, because I wanted higher than it should be, but I finally found a good place for that on my PC. But that's only driving one chair. This one is going to be driving my right chair and the left chair, so you want something that's actually going to, work well. So you definitely need a more powerful amp than the BKA 130 that they sell, which is only 130 watts. And that one over there is definitely overkill for just two chairs, but I did find a good price on it on eBay, so it worked out perfectly for someone who had it before, because they're not sold on their website currently. They're apparently revamping a new model for their home theater setup. So I got this set up. Let me show you guys how the speaker's actually set up. So you can see I have this chair here. If I lift off this flap, you can see that that's the ButtKicker that's aligned right there. So I have mine sideways, as you guys can see, because that's the only wooden piece that I could attach it to. So it's sideways like that. Theoretically, the way that you would want this to be on a chair is if you can actually put it like in the middle and like straight underneath instead. But unfortunately, that wasn't a possibility for me because of that. I had those wires going to it, as you can see. They're going through here, and then they're all going to that amp. And then I have another one right here on this chair. As you guys can see, there's another one sitting right there. So that's also attached to the back. Again, if it still works extremely well, so I don't even know how much it matters, but theoretically, they don't tell you to put it on here like this. They tell you to put it on, like this, underneath the chair, flat up, much as center as possible. But again, with this, it's not possible. I have steel in the middle, not really a good place to put it in, and this was the only wooden bar that I had, so I was able to fit it there with no issues at all. And then again, those two just go to the back of the amp that I have right here. As you guys can see, they connect, or like regular speakers, no issues at all. And then basically what you do is you take the sub amp. I have a sub over there. Luckily, my dead-end receiver actually has 2 sub inputs, so I just basically ran 1 sub input to the sub and then another sub input to the back of this. So there's a sub going from the dead-end receiver over there to this one and then the other one. But you could also, if your amp only has 1 sub input, or 1 sub output, I should say, then you could just split that up and just have 1 going to that one and 1 going to this one. So either way, it will work, regardless if you only have 1 sub out from your receiver. And that's it. And then any audio that comes off of the games that you play and stuff will literally shake this chair. And I know that like that sounds like it's not the biggest deal in the world, guys. And it's not something I can convey in this video because I can't show you, you know, these things vibrating because it's just not very easy to show off and for you guys to comprehend on the video. But it's kind of like the easiest way to mimic it is if you remember those rides that people went on in like Disney and stuff, and those 3D rides that we all went on, that you sat in these movie theater seats and they kind of had like that 4D effect where they throw water at you and stuff, but your chairs were also vibrating to what the sound of the movie was doing. That is kind of like what my chairs are doing here, and the effect is really, really cool. And what's really exciting is that first of all, this thing is powerful as hell. I never put it above 50% because that's as loud as they need to be, and they shake the crap out of these chairs. And not only is it fun for gaming, because when you're playing Call of Duty and stuff, you feel every gunshot, you feel every thump on your chair, you feel the footsteps that people are taking right near you on your chair, so you know when someone's getting close to you. All those things are awesome. But then for movies, I mean, watching scary movies now, like my experience watching scary movies down here already was incredible because, remember, I have surround sound, of course, with my receiver, but I also have Dolby Atmos, so I have the speakers on top as well that I've had on here since last year, so I get the sound from the top, too. And watching movies and scary movies in here has always been crazy because that sub still does its job and still kind of shakes the whole ground level a little bit. But it is nothing compared to having basically think about a sub being attached to your chair, and then every time that thing shakes, it's feeling underneath you. So watching scary movies when things pop up and stuff, like it scares the crap out of you because now your seat's shaking and you think something's on top of you. And it really takes movie watching and gameplay to the next level. Out of everything I've upgraded in this movie room and everything I've done, this is 100% my favorite thing that I've upgraded. Hue lights are cool, but if I can only choose one upgrade to do, it would 100% be this one. This added to the experience like no other, and it was the easiest thing to set up. As long as you have a piece of wood on the back of your chair that you can put these 3-inch speaker attached to it, and you find this amp, you attach it like a regular speaker, get a sub wire, from here to your receiver, and you're well on your way. And anything that it plays, it goes to these things. And again, it works fantastic. It adds an extra dimension of depth to your games and to everything that you watch. Everything that you watch, or movie-wise or gameplay-wise, I don't think a lot of people are doing this in their home theater setups. But if I ever redo my home theater, or if I move out or something, these will 100% be something that I put in every home theater that I ever do from here on out. And my wife feels the same way. My wife loves them. She won't watch scary movies very much anymore down here anymore because she was already, scared to begin with, and now it's even worse. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. To show you guys an idea of how this actually is set up for me. Again, it's something that I definitely recommend everybody look into, the ButtKickers for home theaters. It's really hard for me to show. I just wanted to show you guys the setup and what I think about it, but it's hard for me to obviously show you exactly how it works because I can't show you this thing vibrating. That's all you're going to see is me showing you this thing vibrating, and that's not going to help you in any way. It needs to be something you guys need to experience. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Alright guys, so that was the ButtKicker in my home theater setup. Like I said, it is my favorite upgrade that I ever did in the home theater setup. It really adds the immersion that I wanted in the home theater. Just like when you go on Disney rides and stuff and you feel your chair moving and stuff, this kind of has that same similar feel. Playing games like Call of Duty, playing games like Rocket League and Halo and stuff. When you're playing these games and you get shot, or you're shooting your gun, or there's footsteps coming around, you feel it all in the thumping of the theater. And this amp is amazing. I only keep it at 50 to 60% volume, and it really kicks. If I put it anywhere higher than that, it's just insane. There's no reason to do that. Granted, this amp is definitely you know, an overkill for my setup, but it works fantastic, and I'm super happy with it. And it really does shake the crap out of these out of my whole entire couch. Like when I first put my wife on here, the first thing she said was like, I'm not watching scary movies down here again, because we were already scared watching scary movies down here because we have the Dolby Atmos on top and then all the speakers and stuff. And now adding this where you actually feel something, so when something comes at you, not only do you hear it, but you feel it in your chair, it just takes that level to the next extreme. And you know, I knew it was going to be awesome for gaming because I already kind of experienced it on the PC, so I was really excited to add it to the PC the movie room side, because I knew it was going to bring gaming to that next level when I play games over there too. But man, watching movies down here now is so much fun. Watching anything really that adds this effect, even music videos like I showed you guys, it's all fantastic. My favorite upgrade I've ever done in the movie theater, and I will never not do a home theater installation if I ever move out of here without using butt kickers or some sort of technology to put them underneath the seat. It's fantastic, guys. So if you guys have any questions about what you guys have seen here today, or if you want to add it for yourself, which I highly recommend you do if you have the opportunity, leave those questions down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.